My mother-in-law called me a gold digger, thinking my wealth and properties came from my husband. I, 39 years old, have been married to my husband, 38 male, for almost 10 years now. My husband and I have always been in good standing, and I love him very dearly. Every now and then, we would visit my mother-in-law, which I have always hated. My mother-in-law always treated me like an outsider because of the color of my skin. For context, I was born in Jamaica and my parents brought me here in the US when I was only 3 years old. After my father passed away when I was in my early 20s, I inherited more than 12 different properties my father had owned and had received the amount in his bank account, which was more than $1 million. I'm a real estate agent while my husband is a physical therapist. I've always liked to live a humble life and enjoyed living simple. My husband, on the other hand, liked to show off the materialistic things he has bought and have. He has always told me that the reason he did this was because he grew up with nothing, which I didn't judge him for. My mother-in-law knows about the properties but has always believed that it was under his son's name while I had no contributions. Recently, my husband and I visited my mother-in-law, and we both greeted them with the rest of his relatives. We all sat in the living room, enjoying casual conversations, when the topic of finances and properties came up because of a show we were watching. The show was basically a woman who wanted to marry this man because he was rich. My mother-in-law, perhaps feeling a bit bold that day, looked at me with silence and rolled her eyes. I felt unusual and confused, and I asked her why she looked at me like that while laughing, trying to not make things so serious. "Oh, it's just funny to me," she began saying. "It's just funny how people can be so lucky, marrying into wealth and all, reminds me of some people." Her gaze pierced through me and I felt insulted and disgusted by what she was implying, almost as casting me the role of the gold digger from the show we were all watching. After everyone was getting ready for dinner, I saw my mother-in-law in the kitchen by herself preparing. I decided to approach her and asked if she was implying that I was a gold digger while we were in the living room. You can now check if there's a part 2 by clicking share and more.